Hey y'all, this is Manda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden, and today we are going to be cleaning up the back porch and prepping it for winter. We're also going to be harvesting hyacinth beans and Tithonia seeds. Okay, so this is my back porch. I don't try to hide it when I am working on my garden. This is kind of like the collect-all, everything gets dropped here. Everything's pretty much a mess. There's a lot going on. But I need to start preparing for winter time, which means getting all this cleaned up, putting stuff away, just really kind of cleaning out a lot of the debris and prepping because I'm going to be cutting back a lot of the gardens as well. So I want to have this area nice and clean so it's easy for me to proceed with all the other things that I need to be doing in my garden, prepping it for the end of fall and into winter. So let's take a few minutes. I'll walk you through the porch and then we'll get cleaning. Okay, so this is just your standard, back porch. You guys know that I have just, a basic cookie cutter suburban home. These front portions are new shelves that I created this year, just out of stone and wood planks. This is where all the peppers were, and then on this side, it tends to be seasonal flowers and such, which are still doing all right. I'm going to leave this whole side for now as it's doing just fine. Back here is really just a hodgepodge of bags of stuff, any kind of little projects that I have going on, all kinds of little stuff that needs to be cleaned up, thrown away, and that such. I also have hydrangeas back here that are suffering a little bit from powdery mildew. All of these hydrangeas are getting moved to the shade garden this winter, so they will actually not be in this spot for the fall, or excuse me, for the spring. So I'm kind of psyched about that. I've neglected all of my cacti back here. They are a mess. They're all leaning because I didn't rotate them throughout the season, which, happens. And so anyway, I'm going to get all of this area just cleaned up, freshened up, so I feel really good when I'm coming out here to work on my projects for the fall and winter. So first thing I'm going to do is move everything out of the porch, and then I'll start putting things back a little bit at a time. Okay, so I'm going to work on this area. I typically reserve this for succulents and cacti, which is really fun. I have noticed that with the hydrangeas right here, it's really hard to get to everything over here. So that's something that'll probably look different for next season, as a lot of this is going to or the hydrangeas are going to be somewhere else. So I'm just going to start by pulling everything off, taking a look at everything, seeing what needs to be changed or trashed or whatever. all of these terracotta pots housed the peppers for this season, and I enjoyed it. I'm not sure that's my plan for next year, but we'll see. But at this point, we are done growing at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and remove and cap off the drip line system, just because we don't plan on using it anymore. And terracotta pots cannot be left out in my winters here. I'm in Wylie, Texas, Zone 8A. So because if they get wet and then they freeze, it will the water will expand and it will crack the pots. And I love these pots. I don't want that to happen. So they are all going to get moved over here onto this back area, and that'll give them plenty of time to dry out before our first serious freezes. As long as they're dry, they'll be fine back here. Okay, that works really good for now. Looks like I got some more pots down here. Now, I don't want to put anything on this lower shelf right here because I am going to be adding more terracottas from throughout the garden. I think I have 4 over here. Got a couple of really big ones out there that'll still come up under here. Once I'm ready to get those moved, I'm going to need help. But I'm going to leave this bottom shelf open. However, I am going to put some stuff underneath. Okay, that feels about 1,000,000 times better. Definitely just had a lot of trash sitting up here, but this makes a ton of room to bring in containers. I love to put a lot of them right around here. Easy to water. I have access to drip lines if needed. It's really great. All over there, that's just a lot of trash. A lot of stuff that needs to go different places. It either needs to go to recycling or it needs to be packed up until I start planting seeds again in January. But feeling really good. So happy with that. But let's go over to the hyacinth bean and let me show you what I'm going to be doing. This is the hyacinth bean over here. It is at the end of its season. I am not prepared to trim it all down right now. Still has several blooms, and my guess is pollinators are still using it, but I wanted to harvest a few of the pods and show you guys how to save hyacinth bean seeds. Okay, so basically you guys were looking for dried pod seeds. You want them to dry on the vine, and those are the ones that you want to harvest. Now, these vines right here were produced by only 3 seeds, so you actually don't need very much of these. However, these are pretty cool if you want to use them for dried elements inside for decorating, which is kind of fun. Let me go get a little basket to put all these in. But they should come pretty easy off the vine. If they're not coming easy, that means they're not ready. I was really happy to hear from a lot of y'all saying that you did not have issues with hyacinth bean reseeding itself like crazy. I don't mind if it does a little. I don't want to be picking it all out of my yard everywhere. So it really is a very simple process. After that, it's just you're going to break open the pods. And hyacinth beans are dark with a little bitty white kind of crown peeking out. Very simple to harvest. You can bring these inside and watch a YouTube video while you're harvesting them. Super simple, super easy. And you can use my paper towel method to store these. These are great. I actually have several friends who are interested in these, so I will be passing them along and sharing. Okay, so my Tithonia, it's time. I'm going to go ahead and take them down. They keep falling over, and I don't want them to damage snapdragons and lisianthus that I have over here. We've had a lot of storms and such, so that's been part of the issue. I think I've mentioned before that I do plan on growing these in a different place next year. I'm going to grow them against the fence so that things are a little bit easier to deal with. Let me see. There we go. Now, I have some new beds that I'm going to be working on over the winter. So the Tithonia is just going to, it's going to dry in a corner for now. This is ridiculous. Just going to dry in a corner for now, and then I will use it at the bottom of some of these garden beds. I think that that'll be a nice way to nourish another garden with this. Let me go ahead and take down these bungee cords. Had to bring out the heavy duty pruners for this. I had a lot of fun with these this year, though. I can't wait to grow them again next year. All right. All right. This area looks a little different now. Get my husband to pull these up. I do have Celestia over here. I'm going to go ahead and cut as well. This guy's long gone. Okay, and then that's also going to give my snapdragons over here a little bit of space too, which will be really good. Let me show you how to save some Tithonia seeds. Okay, so as with most flowers, you're looking for a seed pod or a flower head that is nice and dry. You definitely want it to have brown look to it. You don't want it to have any fresh petals on it, anything like that. Let me see. I'm not sure if these are going to be quite. Let me see if I can find a few more. See if I can find a few more that are dried more. Okay, so basically you want the flower head pods. You want them as brown as possible. Before you're doing that, they can be pretty spiky, so you might consider wearing gloves. But basically, let me see if I can get into this if I'm going to need some help. Because I'm going to need some help. I'm going to cut into this. And you're going to see some of these black seeds falling out. See those right there? Those are the Tithonia seeds. So they're kind of like arrow shaped. And basically they're just tucked down into this pod. See me pulling them out right there. And that's as easy as it gets. You can get a whole bunch from one seed pod. Let me see if I can get you a close-up of what these look like. But that's it. Super simple to save these seeds. And then you can basically put these in a paper towel. Use that paper towel method that I use for saving seeds. And you're good to go. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's hot. It's in the 70s, but moving around and moving stuff out, it's a lot. So anyway, I'm glad I got that knocked out with the back porch. It's been bothering me for a while, so it feels really good to get all that stuff out. And I will pack up, well, basically I'll get all the kids to put all the stuff that needs to be tossed away and packed away. They'll help me out with that. They're really great. And then we got those Tithonia taken down, which will allow my snapdragons to get a little more sun, and hopefully I can get some more blooms in the next few weeks from them. And then also it's going to make room for me to start prepping that particular bed, as I do have some seeds I want to get planted, specifically some Orlea, so that'll be coming up later this week. And then the last thing, the hyacinth beans. So we got to save 2 varieties of seeds today, which is very exciting. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.